Howdy. Welcome back to Dion Talk. A lot of investors are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki's first rule in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The rich don't work for money. Sounds catchy, creates a little mystery in our mind that we want to solve, and I am going to make a video explaining that rule. But not today. Today, I'm going to focus on rule number 3. Mind your business. My goal in this video is to teach you how a business works in a format that will change how you see any business that you ever look at again. This business model helped me grow a real estate portfolio that made work optional. It helped me grow a commercial driving school from 1 location with 6 staff to 5 locations with 60 staff. The goal of my content is to help the average person reach financial freedom in 10 years or less, even if not starting from the best position. This is the system that will help you do that. This business model is how I made a 6-figure side hustle that was actually designed to be apocalypse-proof. My systems are ready for a prolonged government shutdown, a pandemic, or a stock market crash. In my videos, I usually try to put in a little bit of humor. At least I think I'm funny. But this video is going to be presented in classroom format. This is actually training I do with the leadership at the company that I run. So since there won't be any humor, I'm going to put some humor at the end of the video. Only stick around to the end if you have a sense of humor. At the end of this video, I am going to explain why I have been told that I have a magical tongue. And it isn't because I have the gift of gab, which I do. And it isn't because of that thing that you just thought of, Matt, the lumberjack landlord, you dirty, dirty guy. Most humans are capable of retaining 3 facts from a lecture. When we're given a 4th fact, we don't lose the 4th one, we lose all 4. Please be ready to take some notes. In order to mind our business, we need to know how a business works. Until something is measured, it can't be improved. Here's an image of how almost every business on the planet is laid out. There may be some tweaks to make a specific business fit the model, but every business that I've looked at so far fits this layout. There are really 2 sides to most businesses. The first side is called a funnel. A lot of people talk about their funnels. This could be lead sources or material sources, and there could be funnels inside a business, but we're going to focus on the first one. And to do this, we're going to borrow a concept from Amazon. Start with the customer first. Unless we learn what our funnel is, we might not know how to focus our efforts to feed our business. Out here at the edge of the funnel, we have the whole planet. And every business owner quickly learns that if you try to reach everyone, you'll end up reaching no one. This is why we focus the funnel as we get closer and closer to the entrance of your business. This can be your business's front door, your website, or something as simple as getting a response to an email. With the funnel, we start with the whole world. We come down to your continent, to your country, to your state, to your county, maybe down to the zip code where your clients are going to come from. This area is called your business's footprint. Your business footprint can be where you live, where your business is located, or if you're investing at a distance, it can be the location that you chose your market in. Once you know your business footprint, your funnel becomes a filter. We need to filter out the people or properties that aren't going to benefit your business. Understanding who we want to find our business helps us know how to spend our advertising budget and how to spend our time hunting for leads. If you're sending out mailers looking for off-market deals, it's a lot easier if you know where you want to send them. If you're driving for dollars, it's a lot easier if you know where you want to look before you even get in your car. In real estate, this is choosing a market and your investing strategy. Setting up your auto searches with an agent is a lot easier if you've funneled down and filtered out to the types of properties you're looking for. What is your business footprint? What area are you setting your searches up in? What is the upper amount that you want to pay for a property? You find this out by talking to a lender before you talk to an agent. What type of properties are you looking for? Single family house, small multifamily, multifamily, raw land, house with an ADU, storage facilities, commercial or mixed use, commercial with residential. Your property searches narrow down the properties just like a business does with clients. From the world down to your area, narrow down to the type of properties within the price limits that you have, right down to the door of your business. As an investor or as a business owner, once you've funneled down to the doorway of your business, you need a filter system. You do not want to buy a property that is not a good investment, and you do not want to sign up a customer who can't benefit from your business. At the truck driving school, if somebody walks in and says, I just lost my job because I got a DUI and I need to make a career change, this is not the time to get a CDL. Maybe our nonprofit can help them find a non-driving job, but we wouldn't want to sign somebody up to our truck driving school if we couldn't help them get a job when they graduated. I'm going to share my search criteria for my rental properties. Yours don't have to be exactly the same. These are just the ones that work for me. My goal is to buy properties that are attractive to the largest number of people, that have more than one source of tenants, and have criteria that help me limit tenant turnover, which can be expensive. I have my auto searches set up in 2 counties. That is my business footprint. I am looking for single-family houses. Even though in my market I've never seen one that would cash flow, I keep looking just in case. I am looking for single-family houses with an ADU, an auxiliary dwelling unit, basically a second house on the same property. 2 houses, 1 property, numbers work like a duplex. In your area, you might need to find out what your sellers list those as, because we can't control the words the sellers use in their listing. It could be ADU, or DADU for detached auxiliary dwelling unit. It could be mother-in-law house. It could be granny flat. Find out what your sellers are listing them as and put that in your auto search. I'm also looking for small multifamily, which is primarily what my investing portfolio is made up of. In my search for small multifamily, though, I also have some criteria that help me limit tenant turnover. With my small multifamily searches, I am primarily looking for side-by-side units, so that tenants aren't living above or below another, so that there's less noise complaints and a plumbing issue would only impact one tenant instead of both. I like 2 bedrooms or more and a garage for each unit, because more space equals more stuff equals less likely to move. I prefer washer-dryer hookups inside each unit because tenants don't like to use shared laundry or laundromats. I chose my area because of a few factors. 1, I invest locally because I self-manage. But 2, I wanted to make sure that there were multiple economic drivers or sources of tenants. Things like a base, a port, a college, a hospital, a Boeing or Amazon terminal, a large population, so that a lot of things would have to change for my sources of tenants to be impacted. And I want to take a second to point out a couple of things. First, my criteria is an ultimate wish list. I would like to have all of those things in each deal. Not all of my properties have all of my criteria. They're still deals worth pursuing, though. And second, I'm at about 8 minutes into talking with you, and we haven't purchased a rental or signed up a client in our business model yet. Everything that we've talked to up until this point has been setting up how we feed our business. Our business model started with a funnel, and then we filtered, and now we're at a conversion point, when we convert a property into our rental or a potential client into one of our customers. This point of our business needs systems. How do you make your offer? How do you make sure that a potential client is going to actually benefit from your business? How do you make your offer look attractive to the seller? Those are the systems that you're going to need to develop in your business model that turn your funneled down, filtered out properties into rentals, or people into clients. After we convert, this is where your business systems take over. How does your business operate? I self-manage 16 rental units, and I'm a single parent with 3 kids. My systems have to be in place to where it doesn't take up a lot of my time, because I am not an entrepreneur. I am an investor. I am not buying properties to start a second job. Self-managing my 16 rental units takes me about 2 hours a month. If it took more time, I would not be motivated to add more units, and more units adds to my cash flow. The layout of your business is going to determine what kind of systems you need in place, if you're flipping, wholesaling, using the BRRRR method, or doing buy and hold investing like I do. The truck driving school, the first portion is a classroom. So I know I'm going to need an actual classroom, an instructor, training materials. time blocked out for recruiters to come in and talk to students. Introduction to vehicle inspection, introduction to simulators. There's more to it, but you get the idea. Here's where the systems come in place for buying rental properties. We funneled down, we filtered out, and then we make offers on what's left. Lots and lots of offers. Once an offer is accepted, that property is still not inside our business yet. It's still in the vetting period. We now go take a tour of the property, schedule an inspection, read the inspection report. Maybe if you can be at the inspection, actually get a face-to-face recap at the end with the inspector about the major issues with the property. After that, we still have to wait for the appraisal to come back. This is a very odd time. This is when we sit back and we wait for a professional to tell us and the lender that the property is expensive enough for you to buy. Once we close on a property, then it's actually in our business, and this is where our systems kick in. My real estate systems are, I keep at least 2 handymen in case one is busy. I use the Thumbtack app to find contractors, get quotes, and read reviews. I use my inspection report as a to-do list, and based on the size and scope of the project, I choose whether a handyman or a contractor who's licensed in the specific type of work that needs to be done is the one to do the project. If the unit is vacant, I use apartments.com to advertise my unit. If there are tenants in place, I wait a couple of months to use my binder method, which is the strategy that gets the tenants to request a rent increase and longer leases. I use this as a vetting period because I didn't get to screen those tenants. I have scheduled maintenance. This can be as simple as filter replacement, which is a good time to do a walkthrough of your unit. I do winterization, which in some places can be as simple as making sure tenants don't have hoses hooked up to outside faucets because that can cause problems in cold weather. I set expectations with tenants, how I like to communicate, what constitutes an emergency, and how I collect rent. When growing a business or investing, we also need to think of our exit strategy, which is another system. With my truck driving school, my exit strategy is to keep training our leadership so that I can work on the business instead of in the business. With real estate, there are exit strategies like, when do you hire a property manager? Or do you plan on selling your properties at some point? Or there's the actual method that I plan on using, which is buy and hold forever, till death do us part. I'm actually creating generational wealth that I will pass on to my kids. I just shared with you how almost every business on the planet works. Take this information and use it to grow a machine that buys your freedom. You are going to be alive in 5 years. Start investing like it. Until my next video, thanks for coming to my Dion Talk.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
At the beginning of this video, I asked you to only stay around to the end if you have a sense of humor, so you were forewarned. This is just silly. I said I was going to take some time and explain why I have been told that I have a magic tongue. And it isn't because I have the gift of gab, which I think I do, or that thing that Matt thought of. I actually have been told I have a magic tongue because when I was a kid, I was super bored and I liked to irritate people. I've always been a fan of ventriloquists. Jeff Dunham is awesome. I've been to see him live 3 times. I'm going to go to future shows. I look forward to each one. But as a kid, my parents were very traditional and homophobic or whatever, and little boys were not allowed to play with dolls. So I was never allowed to practice ventriloquism. So instead, I learned how to whistle like a ventriloquist and use this to entertain myself in every training format I've ever been in. In school, when the teacher wasn't looking, but whenever the teacher was looking, I would look at someone else in the class, and the teacher would just assume they were whistling. So Robert Barnes, very sorry about all the times I got you sent to the principal's office. It was just funny, and I'm probably going to burn in hell for all of that. But it was hilarious in Marine Corps boot camp, and at least the training officers in the police academy had a sense of humor. And this doesn't translate very well for a recorded video because I could be editing. So if you're curious, the next time I'm doing a live stream, At some point, ask me about the whistling thing, and I will show you that the way that I whistle has absolutely nothing to do with my mouth like it does for everybody else. Nothing. The more you know.